Hello and welcome to the Napa Auto Parts Cup Series Mobil 1400 from Homestead-Miami Speedway. I am King in the booth, gonna bring the story to you as always. Got 6 cars on hand here for the second race in the competitor 4 round of the playoffs as we just now get rolling. See the starting lineup lined up on the grid as they file off of pit row. Let's take a look at our Craven Engines starting lineup. On the front row is the 47 of Forza, claiming yet another pole on the season. To his outside is his competitor, Zach. Behind them is the Bear Motorsports teammates of Flicker and Ford. Ford with a pretty strong qualifying effort, P4. And rounding out our field on the final row is the 42 of Milky from Late Night Racing and 62 of Robloxian from Drone Strike Racing. Neither of those drivers in the playoffs. Just looking for solid runs. Okay, well, looks like we're going green this time.
All right, pace 2 laps.
We always pace 2 laps. We've always paced 2 laps all season.
Bro, I've just started helping out, bro. You can't put this shit on me, twin.
This is why you should take the freaking official test
Ouch.
and get certified.
Who said I wanted to be
You would've
official
known that.
in the first place, bro?
You did.
No, I ain't say shit, twin. I'm just here as a backup, bro.
Alright. Let's try that again. 115 laps the distance here from Homestead. 6 cars on hand. 3 of the 4 competitor 4 drivers. All starting positions 1 through 3 on the grid here. Forza and Zach on the front row. Flicker just behind him on the inside. Now we're coming to the green. Pace car should pull off this time. But apparently nobody knows how to do their job, so we'll see if he even pulls off. There he goes this time. Correctly, like he's supposed to. Field in the hands of Forza on the way to the Ohio Edison restart zone, and we're green flag racing in Homestead. An even start on the front row. Zach and Forza side by side down into turn one. Flicker knocking at the 47's door already. 24 went backwards on that start, already back to last from row 2, but now Forza clear down the backstretch. Flicker and Zach side by side for second. Competitor 4 drivers already going after it. Forza will lead lap 1. Flicker slides into second. Zach tight on his bumper as the top 3 are all 3 competitor 4 drivers. Behind them, Robloxian and Milky side by side for P4. Ford looking for somewhere to go in the 24. Going to go bottom 3 wide. A little tight off of turn 2 right there. Contact between the 62 and the 42 sends him down into the 24. Forza still leading the 31. Contact between the 42 and 24 again. Down onto the apron a bit for those two. They recover. Single file all the way throughout the pack. Forza looking to open up his gap already from the 31. Flicker keeping Zach honest as well. You see the highlighted blue banners. Those are all your playoff drivers as well. Highlighted with their names under yellow on the ticker on the left side of the screen. Here comes the 48 to the inside of the 31. Even down the back stretch. Zach gonna try and stay on that right rear quarter panel. Can he get the car to rotate off the top? Barely stays out there, just enough for Flicker to need to give him room. Gonna side draft all the way down the front stretch. Gonna try it again in turn 1 and 2. Not going to be able to make it happen because his teammate, the 62 of Robloxian, looking to his inside. Able to pull out for now. Six laps in already, got a 4-car breakaway from, or more like the 24 and 42 are falling off the pace early. Unfortunate for the 24 Ford. Showed good pace in practice, qualified top 5, and just seems to have lost touch with the leaders early. Still within draft range though. Hopefully he can get some of that and make his way forward. Let's take a look at our keys to victory coming into tonight. First on the list we have the question of will we see multi-groove racing? Saw a little bit of it in the break series last night. We saw a lot of variation of lines of how to get around this joint. Haven't seen much of it yet. Really seen a lot of these Cup guys stay around that white line on the bottom as much as they can. You see Flicker go for the crossover on the 31. Where will the 62 go? Right on the back bumper of this battle as these two continue to fight. I'm going to slow each other down, let everybody behind them catch up, and car in front of them pull away. Forza loving to see that, but Flicker pulls out ahead and clears. DSR teammates now fighting door to door in the corner. But next on the key to victory, this tricky pit road entry. You'll see it in just a few laps here when these guys have to come down and make the first pit stop of the night, but going to be slamming off the banking off of turn 4, down to that 75-mile-an-hour speed limit, to that yellow line, all the way down this very long pit road to that other yellow line. Cannot get caught speeding. That will ruin your race if it's at the wrong time. Going to be interesting to see how these guys pit and when they decide to pit. Flicker not willing to let Forza pull away. Gotten clear, and he's looking to close that gap down. A really good corner entry in turn 1. Back behind him, the 62 has gone around his playoff teammate. Look to the inside. Not enough momentum to carry him around there. Gets into the back of him, though. Robloxian holding tough, though. Just in front of him. Oh! Contact with the left rear coming off the turn 4. 31 got a little greedy on the gas. Got into his teammate. They both recover, though. No further issues. We stay green as now the 31's shoving his teammate up the track. Zach's racing for a playoffs or a championship duel spot here. Every position matters, but Robloxian's not letting him by at all. He's not cutting him any slack. Forza's still your leader. Flicker maintaining that gap of about 4 or 5 car lengths, not able to close enough to get within striking distance, but he's keeping that 47 on. Just one mistake from Forza, and Flicker is right there to capitalize. Top 2 have pulled away from the rest of the field. Flicker's starting to make inroads on the 47. Slowly but surely closing the gap. Zach got by the 62 as well and opened up a pretty big gap on him as well. Not sure if that was Robloxian letting his teammate by or making a mistake or getting forced out of the way or what, but falling back to 4th. Nearly in the clutches of Ford. Also, 62 is a lap down because he missed qualifying. Didn't miss the race, or missed the start, but missed qualifying. No evidence if he actually made practices or not, which is mandatory, so the drivers decided to let him race as long as he started 1 lap down, so that's what happened. Forza leading us to the halfway lap. In stage 1, got caught on that apron a bit. 48 got into his back bumper. Flicker might be there now. You see the gap right there, about a car length between them. Flicker's going to get aggressive on these corner entries. Here, there it is. What is Forza doing? That allowed the 31 of Zach to go, or to get right up to these top 2 as well. 3-car battle for the lead. All 3 competitor Ford, 3 competitor Ford drivers up here fighting for the lead as well. Stage points going to come into play here. The top 5 all receive stage points. The top 2 receive playoff points. So important as this is the last intermediate until the championship. 3rd to last race of the season. Got Elwood next week. That's a super speedway. Very unpredictable to send us into the championship duel at Charlotte. So these guys are going to want to build up some insurance on points here at Homestead before they go to that super speedway and do it for Dale at Elwood next weekend. Zach now looking to go by the 48. And he will. Off of turn 4. Excuse me. Force is starting to open up his gap a bit again. Zach's got a really fast car, though. He started second. Had to drive his way back up to that spot, but now he's trying to chase that 47 back down. Flicker, though, not going to give him any breaks. Wearing on the back bumper, looking every which way. Going to keep that pressure on that 31. Because that second spot is for a playoff point. Oh, barely to the inside off of turn 4, but he's there. Zach's going to have to give him room going into 1. Try and run him low as he can. Up the track a bit goes Flicker. Trying to get the car to rotate back down to the bottom on corner exit. Still barely, no, clear. Zach able to power back around the outside after a little slip up from Flicker on the bottom. Zach has gained a notation in these playoffs for being very aggressive, very hard to pass, very hard to keep behind you. And just showed it off right there. Gave Flicker a hard time right there going into 1, trying to get around him. Under 10 laps to go in stage 1, coming to 8 this time. Forza has led, I believe, every lap so far. .62 over Bloxy and entering the picture here in this battle for P2. Bringing the 42 or the 24 and 42 with him as well. 62 just came over the radio, going to be pitting this time from P4. This will be our first look at how these pit stops or this pit entry goes for these drivers, and he gets down very well. 42 will follow him. Both of them. No, Milky too hard through his box. That'll be a penalty for him. A pass through he will have to serve. Will that attract the rest of the field to pit road soon? We'll see. Here comes the 42 or 48 of Flicker pulling right off right in front of his teammate. Ford also coming down. Bear Motorsports Crews getting ready on pit road. Oh, Ford speeding on pit road entry. A penalty for him incoming. Not happy about it on the radio. Unfortunate. And here comes the leader, Forza, peeling off the racetrack. Is that going to follow him? 42 coming to serve his penalty. Stayed out as long as they could, but the fuel could not go all the way. And they both make it into their stops or boxes expertly. Milky cleanly serves his penalty. Ford will also have to serve a penalty. Here he comes. Now let's see the battle for the lead. Where will Flicker cycle out with Zach and Forza, who pitted a lap later? Forza already coming around to the blue line. Looks like Flicker will get around the 31. No problems there, but Forza maintains the lead after a very solid pit stop. Zach now back in the same vicinity with his teammate Robloxian after their stops. Ford has served his penalty and he is good. Coming around to 2 laps to go in stage 1. Pit road will close. Oh, Flicker. Way down on the apron on the front stretch. Might have lagged there. But no contact. Probably lost some time to the 31 behind him. Up off of turn 4 for the final time in stage 1. Forza is going to see the white flag for stage 1. In his pursuit of his 4th Cup Series championship in here in the NAPRA. Got 3 in a row from season 3 to season 5, but season 6 and 7 went to 2 different winners. 6 went to Torino, and 7 went to that driver in P2 right there, Flicker, looking to go back-to-back in the championships. Recently said, he told me actually, in the media compound, that if he were to go back-to-back and win the championship this season, he would retire after season 9. So not after this season, but following next season, Flicker would retire if he won the championship. If he went back-to-back this season. So, stage 1 is wrapped up. Stage 2 now, 35 laps. Forza, Flicker, Zach, Ford, and Milky, the top 5. All of them receiving stage points. Crucial for the top 3 competitor 4 drivers. The 10 of Villain. His championships are likely over after 2 straight inactive weeks. We'll take a look at our points right now. You see at bottom right of your screen, the 10, 3 points earned this round, and that's just from playoff points added on from last round from the wildcard 8. So unfortunate circumstance for him, just unable to make these races, and that's what kills you in these championships in the NAPRA. Attendance is key if you want to make a deep run, and unfortunately wasn't available or wasn't at Nashville and unable to attend Homestead tonight. Going to put him at a massive disadvantage compared to his top 3 competitors who both made last week and this week. But while we got the points up, you'll see it at the top of the board. Flicker has passed Forza after a very strong points performance in Nashville. Forza, unfortunate circumstance, getting a penalty late, ruining his chance to probably win. Zach with the solid run, but still not quite up to snuff with the other 2. First car below the cut line. Bit of a gap from Forza back to Zach as well. So he's going to have to do some serious digging on these next 2 weeks if he wants to, or this week and the next if he wants to have a shot at it. And Forza just got way up the track there. I'm not sure what happened to him, but lost a lot of time right there. Heard the tires screeching, not sure what happened. That was a look at the points coming into tonight, though. Zach running down the 48 of Flicker. Zach is looking to have a really strong long run car. That's how he usually is, though. Really good at managing his stuff, managing his equipment, his tires, And while we don't actually have tire wear, I'm sure that will definitely play into his hand next season when we will have actual tire wear that does take an effect on the handling of your race car. So that'll be interesting to see next season. Season 9 got big stuff coming next season in the NAPRA. Hopefully you tune in, bring your friends around to the stream. 30 laps to go, now 29 in stage 2. Flicker on full defense mode at this point from the 31. Can't even focus on the 47 in his windshield because he's got the 31 up his bumper in the mirror. Zach is being quite patient with this 48 right now. 31 still looking for a way around the 48 here. Flicker's making that car really wide, and now he slips up, goes to the inside. Or goes to the outside, Flicker does. I think Flicker let him by there. Didn't want all that pressure on his bumper, but he still got the 62 right behind his teammate following him through. .25 to go. Forza's loving to see that battle rage on in his mirror, but now the 31 with a really strong turn 4, able to get a few car lengths on the 48. Try and set his sights ahead on Forza, who has been nothing short of dominant so far tonight. Who is surprised? Not me. Forza, notorious for getting the lead and running away with races. He's done it his whole career. That's how he's won 3 championships in the top step of the NAPRA. 48 snowballing through the pack, though. Now side by side with the 48, Robloxian checks up and gets back in line. Not trying to impede these playoff drivers too much, it looks like. At least when they've got the same logo on the front bumper as he does. That DSR, that clean silver logo from Drone Strike Racing. Here's Ford and Milky sticking with it. Ignore that. I hit the wrong button. Here are the DSR teammates. I accidentally hit my sound for it. Well, while the action on track continues to simmer down, let's go ahead and try and transition to a Jegs Crank It Up here on the NAPRA. Oh, no. We welcome you back from that Crank It Up presented by Jags. Saw it right when we went to Crank It Up. Actually, we didn't see what happened, but Forza lost the lead after I don't even know what happened. I can only assume lag, but had such a big gap. Couldn't have had any other contact from a car, but he has lost the lead back 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds back from the leader, who is Zach now. As his cycle is just beginning here, Flicker and Robloxian the first to peel down or peel off. Flicker gonna try for the undercut, try and win this stage over the 31 who he was just racing with on track. 62 out of his box. Unfortunate penalty for him. Hopefully he can stay stay one lap down, then he will receive the free pass when this caution comes out. Forza peeling off, as well as Zach. Ford now the only car to not have pit. Zach is into his box and good. Forza coming by. He's also good. Luckily, Forza's got a caution coming up here soon, guaranteed, so not completely out of this one. Just got to get a good restart and pull away like he did in stage 1 as he's down and away. Flicker goes around. Real battle, though, is between Flicker and that 31 coming off pit road. Gonna be close. Flicker already up to speed. Zach nearly comes up right into him. But Flicker, the undercut, somewhat works. He takes the lead, or when it cycles out, what will be the lead. For now, we'll see if he can hold off that 31 for 8 more laps. 24 of Ford finishing up his service following the 62 who just served a penalty. Close call right there coming off of pit road between the 31 and 48. Let's take another look at it. Watching the 47 and the 31 come off pit road, Flicker comes by on the right side of your screen, now the bottom, coming by to take the lead, or try and take the lead after pit stops. And you see the 31 trying to get the throttle down, trying to get back into the racing groove, but Flicker, with such a head of steam, comes roaring around the outside. A little contact between them as well. But that's all. That's hard racing right there. Racing for position, racing off pit road. Strategies clashing. Good stuff here from Homestead-Miami Speedway, nicknamed or coined by our very own 4Boy07. Miami Madness. You see it right there. New addition to the restart zone. But after what we saw last night, especially, and the madness that this track has seen in the past year in the NAPCS, thought it was a fitting slogan, fitting nickname for this racetrack. Is now they were side by side for the lead down the front stretch. Zach goes by the 48. Flicker tried to get back to the back bumper. Wasn't quite able to. Gonna have a run at him down the back stretch. Not gonna take it. Might try and pressure the 31 into a mistake here. All over the bumper. Pressuring him hard. Forza also gained a lot of time on that pit stop. Very good recovery for him. If these two keep battling, he might find himself in the middle of that battle for the stage win like he would have been without the incident that put him behind coming on pit road. Ooh, into the wall goes the 31. Little pop. Flicker looked like he was just going to drive around the outside of the 31 for a minute there on entry. That'd be tough, though. Mission accomplished for the 62 of Robloxian to serve that penalty while remaining only 1 lap down, so he will receive the lucky dog when the stage 2 caution comes out and be back on the lead lap. Great scenario for him. Battle for the stage win, though, continues to rage on. Coming around to 2 laps to go this time, pit road will close once they take the line. 42 re-emerging from the garage area after going in there for some repairs. 48 receives a warning. White flag in stage 1, Flicker and Zach. A rubber band's length apart down the front stretch. What will the 48 have for him on this last lap before stage 2 closes and we see the yellow flag for the second time tonight? Or I guess the first. Lap car just pulling out ahead. They shouldn't get to him. Oh well, looks like he might play a factor. 48 into the back of him. Zach protects well though, slamming the door after getting moved up the track. Zach will win stage 2, from Homestead. As the caution flies, Forza takes on P3 in the stage. Ford picks up a 4th, and Robloxian P5. All right. Got pit stop on board here, or on hand here. Zach will lead him down after picking up another stage win. What a season resurgence for the 31 crew. Oh my gosh, Flicker into the pit wall. But man, that's rough. Yeah. Season resurgence for the 31. A lot of question marks whether he was going to even make the playoffs or not. As the regular season winded down, but he made it. Got a clutch win, second of the season at North Wilkesboro to close out the wild card round. 3 wide off of pit road right there. Wow. Forza wins the race off over Zach and Flicker from P3 on entry. 47 crew continues to be the best on pit road. Very good stop for them. 62 of Robloxian put himself back on the lead lap after getting the free pass under caution. And the 42 of Milk takes the wave around, so he will be 1 lap down, banking on another caution quickly to put himself back in contention for some positions here. Here they come to the choose. Flicker first to go to the outside. Forza and Zach on the bottom, and Flicker got his teammate backing him up on the outside. That's a 24 of Ford. And on the final row, Milky on the bottom, Robloxian on the top. So all even, 3x3. Or no, 2x2. 3 rows deep. 47-48. First and second in points, coming back to the restart. Gonna be 46 to go as we're green flag racing once again in Miami. A great start for Forza in the bottom line. Zach gave him a really good time to push. Cleared him to the lead before they even got to turn 1. Now the 31 trying to follow him through. 24 did not give Flicker the bump he needed on that start. Already snowballing again, just like we saw in the initial start for the 24. Down into turn 3, Flicker up the track a bit after some door contact with the 31. Oh, and he gets back into the left rear quarter panel. Backs off though, he stays in line. 3. What was I even going to say? I don't know. Top 3 all in the playoffs. 45 to go now. Gonna have one more pit stop, one more money stop till the end of this thing. Robloxian now gonna try and go as hard as he can now that he's back on the lead lap fighting for positions with these guys. Had great speed in that car even while racing on a lap down. Already pulling away from the 24 and 42 once again. Those Chevrolets just do not have the same speed that that 48 car does. Forza leads Zach, Flicker, and Robloxian down the backstretch once again. Zach looking for a move down into turn 3. Forza defends it nicely, but Zach not gonna be told no as he bumps the 47 up out of his way. Gonna be side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Where will the 48 go if he gets the chance? Zach on the bottom, right where you want to be in these corners. Here comes the 62 now to the inside of the 48. Flicker trying to slam the door on him. Forza trying to hang tough on the outside for the lead. Flicker now looking for somewhere to go. Will he shoot it 3 wide to the bottom? Not quite 3 wide, but he's going to go behind the 31. Move him up the track a bit. Now he's bottom 3. Forza backs out of the top of 3 wide. Now it's the 48 and 31 side by side down the front stretch as the 24 starts to enter the picture as well. 3 Fords, 1 Chevrolet up here fighting for the lead. 2 of them in the playoffs. The 62 a teammate to the 31. Here comes the 24 now looking to give his buddy some backup though. Oh, contact between the teammates. Drone Strike Racing drivers come together. Zach looking to the inside of the 48. Shoves his teammate way below the line. Here he receives a warning for that. Now here comes the 24 Ford striking on his inside. Forza starting to fall back a bit through all this battling. Gonna try and make his way back forward now. Gonna muscle up the 24 and 31. Flicker now with the lead, trying to get away from the 62. They're 3 wide down the backstretch. Forza Ford, Zach, bottom to top. Ford gonna back out at the very last moment there. These 2 Fords remain side by side though. Battle for the lead. Robloxian going after Flicker again. Defensive move, defensive corner entry from the 48. 62 pulled out really late. Flicker was already committed to the corner on the bottom. Great racing off this restart right here. Forza sending it into turn 3, gonna shove the 31 up out of the way. Zach unable to retaliate off the corner, gonna stay clear back in P4. Flicker now moved up the track by the 62. Here comes Robloxian looking for the lead. Winless on the year, Robloxian, only full-time DSR driver without a win so far this year. Both of his teammates, Dragon and Zach, collected at least one. Robloxian got to get himself one as well. Racing with these playoff guys like they're not playoff guys. I love that mentality. I've said it multiple times, and now Robloxian takes the lead from competitor 4 driver Flicker. Forza enters the picture to the back bumper of the 48, and he gets into the 62 after that contact as well. Robloxian up into the wall, going to be 3 wide off of turn 2. Contact between the leaders. 62 nearly got turned around off the front nose of the 48 right there. That got really close. The 47 would have gotten a lot of contact with that one as well. Now Flicker trying to hold tough on the outside, going to fall in line behind the 47. 4 cars under a blanket going down into turn 1. Flicker now bumps the 47 out of the way with help from the 31. 3 wide again. Let's take another look at that contact that just happened off of turn 2, that last lap. Lots of stuff going on in the live box in the top right. 62 got a door slam up the track. In the replay though, you see Forza on the bottom with 3 wide, trying to get up the track. Flicker got a little tight. Got into the 62 who was trying to keep off the wall as well. Those 3 cars just came together And contact was made. They keep going straight, though. Flicker now back in the lead. Robloxian back to second. Forza holding strong in third. Zach trying to take advantage around the outside of him. Forza will clear. Flicker trying to open up a gap. 62 is not going away, though. Very fast Ford Mustang right there out of the Drone Strike Racing camp. Two fast Mustangs at that, the 31 and the 62. Both from Drone Strike. 47 of Forza out of Blaze Technology Motorsports, team owner of that team. Always in contention for wins, championships at that. Going for his fourth on the year, or fourth in his career in the NAPRA, fourth championship, at least in the Cup Series. Got one in the Break Series as well. Now going for second, though. Got tight underneath the 62. Had to check up, get that car to rotate. Not quite able to clear. Where will the 31 go? Zach's going to try and follow the 47 through. Here comes Forza to the inside of the 48 for the lead. He's taking shots. Now he's got the best shot at it. No pressure behind him as the teammates stay side by side. Flicker going to try and pinch him down on that white line. And not going to be able to keep the fight up for long. Going to try and fall back in line. Now he looks to the outside. Wow. Indecisiveness from Flicker right there. Where he wanted to go. Now he's going to the inside of the 47 in turn one. .62 pulling out all the way, looking to shove it 3 wide. Not going to be able to send it in that hard though. Backs out, gets back in line with the 48. Now he's going to try it again, and he's got help from his teammate on the back bumper. Forza wisely backs out off the top. Flicker looking for the crossover. Not quite able to get it done. Now to 62, big blocking down the backstretch. Oh, contact with the 31 at that. Flicker looking for any way to get around this 62. Rocket Man Rocky, very hard to pass. Got that nickname from driving similar to Ryan Newman. Very fast in qualifying, very hard to pass in the race. And he is giving these playoff drivers a run for their money at the front of the field. Here comes Zach now to the inside of Flicker. And the 48 will clear down the backstretch, trying to protect the lanes. Trying to keep the 31 at bay. He will for now. .62 going to drop in line behind his teammate, try and push him past this 41. At least give him as big as a run as he can going into turn one. Zach will pull even with the 48. Flicker, a really good center rotation, though. Got a good exit off the top of the track. Flicker's been trying to pull that crossover off a lot this run, and whenever somebody gets to his inside, he's quick to check up and fall in line behind him. Oh! Almost popped up off the left rear of that 31. Big blocking down the backstretch. Wow! The 62 even looking to take advantage of the 48. Robloxian going to get the short end of the stick right there, all the way back to P5. After massive blocking taking place down the backstretch, Flicker still trying to get back by the 31 for the lead. These guys have been side by side, door to door, ever since the green flag was dropped for stage 3. Been incredible to watch, but got a pit stop coming up soon here. the money stop. Oh, a big shot to the back of the 47 from 24 of Ford. Trying to hang in here in the top 5. Trying to support his Bear Motorsports Chevrolet teammate. That car has not quite had the speed, though, to run where the 48 has ran all season. As now he's going to get put middle 3 wide down the backstretch. Can Ford get to his bumper? Gonna get put on the inside of the 31 of Zach right here. Gonna shove the 47 nearly clear to the lead. Now he's gonna go for second on his teammate, actually. Nowhere for him to go, nowhere to help him, or no chance to help him right there. Wasn't in the right position. Look at Ford, though. Making his way up the running order late here. Side by side for second now. Trying to protect from the 31. And 62 at that. Those teammates are doing a really good job at following each other, but 31 of Zach giving him the bumper, sending both Bear Motorsports guys up out of the groove. Now they're 3 wide. Back behind them with his teammate. These guys got to get sorted out quickly before that 47 says peace out and gets out of touch. And if anybody's going to do it, I expect the 31 and 62 to get lined up and push each other down these straightaways. 62 up the track, though. Going to get a good corner exit, though. Zach now clear. Going to try and hunt down that 47. Robloxian going to try and play blocker for him. I would assume. Well, 31 up the track a bit there. 62 closes. Might be trying to bump draft up to the 47 here. Closing in on a pit stop. Now the question rises, who will be the first to peel off the track and hit pit road? The undercut is powerful here in the NAPRA. You see the 42 down off the banking already. He's got nothing to lose. He's just trophy hunting at this point. So, oh, he also took the wave round, so he's a little short on fuel compared to these guys. Oh, and he speeds. Well, that's unfortunate. The undercut might have prevailed for him right there, but the penalty will likely end his chances at... Oh, well, he was a lap down anyway, so still going to need a caution. But now when will we see the rest of our leaders pull off the track and come down pit road? Now within 20 laps to go at 19. Oh. Here comes the 62, 48, and 24. Side-by-side contact going on the pit road. You think these guys aren't competitive? They're over here door slamming on pit road. All 3 of them good in their boxes. 42 serving his penalty. 62 and 24 down and away behind the 48. Flicker with that number 1 pit stall. A huge advantage on pit road, especially on exit. Being able to just floor it right off, not having to slow down for speeding. We'll see how he cycles out. Been undercutting all night. Just slightly, just by a lap. We'll see if it works out. You see him right behind the ticker right there coming into turns 3 and 4. 47 of Forza down and away. Here comes the 48 at speed already. 47 coming around the bend. Got to stay on the access road. I don't think he's going to get him. He's not going to get neither of them. Wow. Great stops for the 47 and 31 crews. 48 unable to gain with the undercut. So now this comes down to, can Zach run down Forza within these last 16 laps here? 47's got a lap car up ahead, not quite within draft range, but if he does, that would make this task that much harder for the 31 of Zach, running down the one of, if not the best in the business here in the NAPRA. Series leader in wins this season. Series leader in wins all time at that. Forza with 6 on the year. Zach with 2 at Talladega and North Wilkesboro. Gonna come down to 15 laps though here at Homestead. Who or can the 31 make the push? Both of these cars have been extremely fast all night. Ford has got this. They've got the setup. They've got the package nailed for Homestead. Don't make any notes for next season or make any changes. But gonna come down to 2 Ford allies, 2 manufacturer associates. Can't forget about the 48 of Flicker back there either. If this 31 starts slipping up, he'll be there. And if the 47 makes another mistake like he did earlier before the caution, that could put 48 in the catbird seat if he can close on the 31 of Zach. Forza's got a sniff of the draft from that 42 car ahead of him, who had to serve a penalty. Got to be feeling very comfortable in that 47 car. Gap looks like it's starting to close up between the 47 and 31 just from this free cam. Looks like Zach is starting to close. Force is starting to sweat a little bit trying to chase the draft of that 42 in front of him. Zach is coming though, man. I mentioned it earlier. He's got a long run car, it seems like, and he has proven me right. Under 10 laps to go. Flicker looks to be out of the picture unless these two start battling soon and hard. Start giving up chunks of time. But Zach eating into Forza's lead at an impressive pace. Forza now got 2 lap cars in front of him. Zach needs this good points day. Needs a win. Not doesn't need a win, but he needs a good points day. That needs the points that a win would give. Let's put the points back up on the screen right now. Blue flag has been shown to the 2 lap cars in front of Forza, trying to chase the draft from him. Although they've been told to get out of his way, and they do. Zach still continues to close, though. Gap within gap is actually 3/10 at the line. Very impressive final run for Zach, even if he doesn't get to this 47. I know he would hate to not have that happen, but still very impressive stint right here. And the 62 has been parked. Wow. Unfortunate for him, but we got a battle for the lead here between playoff racers. Forza coming to 5 to go. Zach is there. It's not often you see Forza get ran down like this, especially for the lead, but Zach has done it. Look to the inside right now. Little contact. Forza got to go full defense mode. Don't forget about Flicker back there either. Four to go at the line. Zach, distance remains about the same, a car length between them. Zach biding his time. Gotta wait to make a move on the 47, because if you do it too early, he can give it right back to you. Here comes the 31 to the inside. Muscled him up the track. Zach looking for the lead. Nearly got jackknifed together down the front stretch. Now 2 laps to go. Forza back on the bottom. Zach, gonna check up, get in line. Off of turn 4, here's the 48 now. A 3 playoff car battle for the win as they see the white flag at Homestead. Miami Madness coming into play here. It's painted on the front stretch. We said it multiple times during the Break Series broadcast. Now here comes the 48. A little air for Flicker now. Forza receives a warning. Zach with the lead. Flicker now in the fight for the win. Who's going to make a move? Zach holding strong on the bottom. Off of turn 4 for the final time. Win number 3 on the season comes in Miami for Zach. Man, what a finish. What a drive by the 31. Zach, absolute season resurgence in the playoffs at the end of the regular season. 3 wins since Talladega. Got the first one of the year at Talladega. Made it into the playoffs, and he has just done nothing but perform when he's needed to. Second win in the playoffs, North Wilkesboro to close out the wild card 8, and now Homestead in the middle of the competitor 4. What a drive. Zach burning it down for the third time this year in front of a sold out Miami, Homestead-Miami Speedway. They got a great finish. And these playoffs have delivered an entertainment value. Been great for me to watch, great for me to broadcast. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching it, because I sure have. Great stuff. And Zach, incredible clutch performance here. Came in the first car below the cut line, comes out, wins a stage, and gets the big trophy in the Mobil 1-400. What a performance. What a drive. That final stint was so impressive. Just stayed smooth after that pit stop. Made up about a second gap on Forza, one of the best in the business. And he got it done. Incredibly impressive performance from Zach. Can't say enough about that one. Now we'll get to bring that Ford Mustang to BGE victory lane for the third time. Get to hoist the Pegasus trophy. Very nice trophy right here. The Pegasus for Mobil 1. Pitbull and some women in the victory lane waiting for him. But man, great drive by the 31. And he gets to place that car in victory lane at the end of 400 miles. Out of the car. Zach, you're winner of the Mobil 1-400. Great race for him. Now let's see if we can grab some interviews here post-race. Join broadcast if you want an interview. God, ignore that again. Hit the wrong button again. Here on pit road post race with driver of the number 48 Flicker. Really came out of nowhere in those last two laps. Some little shenanigans were taking place between Forza and Zach, but made a great final push right there. Great attempt at the win. Came into the night points leader. So how are you feeling after this one and almost stealing that win?
I wish I could have went 2 in a row. Would have been the first time I would have went back to back in my career, but we had a really fast car. I mean, it wasn't fast enough to contend with Forza on the long run when everyone was spread out, but I was just hoping Zach and Forza would battle at the end and I could close in and potentially steal it, but I couldn't really do much once Zach cleared Forza, so I just had to tuck in right behind Zach and hopefully I could move him, but obviously that didn't work. Yeah, I did get close, but I'm happy with P2. I'm pretty sure it's enough to keep the points lead going into Elwood, so we're in pretty good position, and hopefully we just have a good run at Elwood.
Yeah, very strong race for you. Good points race, got stage points all the way throughout, and yeah, going to Elwood with a bit of a cushion if you can have one in the playoffs. But
yeah.
Since Ford, you're right here, we'll interview you next. A good run for you as well. I believe you finished P4. So, top 5 for you in the 2014 signature course-like colors. So, how are you feeling after this one?
Decent. I mean, I faltered a little bit at the end after that last pit stop. I was gonna pit a lap later than what I was going to, but I've been trying to stay with Flicker all race because I know the last time I didn't follow Flicker the whole race. He ended up winning. So, it was decent. I had a lot of fun up front, actually. I was hoping to get to the lead, but honestly, Milky gave me some issues back there being lapped. Irritated me a little bit, but, it's all good. It was a good race.
Yeah, very strong qualifying performance. Ended up qualifying and finishing in the same spot, so good night for Bear Motorsports overall, and hopefully we'll see you
Yep.
both at Owen next week.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and I believe that'll do it. No more interviews. I believe, yeah, that'll do it for our coverage of the Napa Auto Parts Cup Series, Mobil 1-400 from Homestead-Miami Speedway, home of Miami Madness. We saw it there in the final 5 laps as Zach ran down Forza and took the win. Great finish here. We'll be back for the second to last race of the season from Elwood Super Speedway. Doing it for Dale. Going to be a good show. Hopefully you tune in. 7 p.m. Eastern Time as always, Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, fun race. Zach, your winner, and hopefully you'll tune in next weekend for the I forget the sponsor, but Elwood Super Speedway. So this is King signing off. Hope everybody has a good night.
Hey. Karina wanted an interview.
Why didn't he join broadcast?
I don't know.
He's not getting an interview.
That was a good race. Dude, I had some speed up there.